A few weeks ago now, I uploaded the first part of our things we would like to see in Fallout 5 series, and it got more views than any of the things we'd like to see in the Elder Scrolls 6 series, so I just wanted to thank all of you for that. But today we are going to go into part 2 of the series, so sit back and enjoy, drop a like on the video and comment below things you would like to see in part 3. Also, I do just want to quickly say I have a little bit of a sore throat, so if I sound a bit rough in this video, that is why. But anyway, with that said, let's get straight into it. Animations in Bethesda games are extremely lacking, at least in my opinion. In Fallout 4 the only animation we really got was the Stimpak animation. Obviously we had the combat animations, running animations and all of the usual stuff that every game gives us, but I want more eating and drinking animations. When I scoff down a bottle of Nuka-Cola, why not have it be an animation? Maybe you can even go a step further and have animations of us opening and closing containers and doors. Really, I just want to see Bethesda start to use more animations in all of their future games. But anyway, let's go on to number 4. The Enclave are one of my, if not my favourite faction in the entire Fallout franchise. The lore behind them is really interesting, and overall I just think they're very unique compared to other factions. I understand why, but I was a little disappointed that they didn't appear or weren't even really mentioned in Fallout 4. Because we haven't really seen them since Fallout 3. In fact, my favourite quest mod for Fallout 4 is America Rising, which basically just brings the Enclave into Fallout 4 in a massive DLC-sized quest. In fact, I love the Enclave and that mod so much I've actually replayed that mod a few times, which I really don't do often with Fallout 4 quest mods or Fallout 4 mods at all really. What I'm getting at is that the Enclave are such a unique faction that, in my opinion anyway, it would feel like such a waste to not see them in Fallout 5. They don't have to be a main faction, but at least let me meet a couple of them in a bunker hideout or something like that. Sort of on the same lines, we have improved factions. Fallout 4's factions were lacking, to say the least. They were all tied into the main story, which I didn't really mind, but we couldn't really do much with them besides that main quest, and a few little fetch quests. We had a couple of smaller factions on the side, like the Atom Cats, but again, they were really lacking. You just did a few quests for them, fought off some gunners, got a jacket for your reward, and that was it. I personally would really like Fallout 5 to go to the Elder Scrolls route, and just have a bunch of joinable factions across the entire game, each doing their own thing with their own long, unique questline. I mean, in Skyrim you can make an entire character just to join a faction like the Dark Brotherhood, for example. In Fallout 4 you could make a character just, for example, to join the Railroad, but it's really not that different than doing the Brotherhood of Steel quests, besides a few dialogue options, and a couple of quests, which brings me to number 2. In Fallout 4, every ending is the same. You blow up the Institute, unless you join the Institute. There is really no consequences throughout the entire game, and look, I liked Fallout 4's story at the start. Everything from the opening until you kill Kellogg, and that's where I think the story really starts to go downhill. Again, no matter what faction you join besides the Institute, every ending is basically the same. Either way, you have to find Virgil, and build the teleporter, and get inside the Institute, etc. And I just really want Fallout 5's story to be more in-depth than that, and at least more engaging than that. Fallout 4's main quest is basically just fetch quests in disguise, apart from a few very minor things, which is why I really dislike Fallout 4's main story once you get past killing Kellogg. And obviously that is not to say that Fallout 4 doesn't have some great stories in the game, because it definitely does. Nick and Kate's personal quests come to mind. There are definitely a bunch of really good quests in Fallout 4, like the Silver Shroud questline too. I just think the main quest was ridiculously lacking. And finally, at number 1, we have more cities and towns. Again, going back to Fallout 4, we had pretty much just 2 towns, Diamond City and Goodneighbor. And Goodneighbor has a maximum of like 4 buildings. Like, personally, I don't even think you can classify that as a town. Obviously, there were other places too, like Bunker Hill and Covenant, but again, they were just lacking. In my personal opinion, Fallout 4 only really had one real town/city, Diamond City. Most of the towns in Fallout 4 were just replaced by settlement building, which was Bethesda's mistake. And look, I love settlement building. I don't care what anyone says, I personally really enjoy it, and I make no apologies for that, especially when I mod it. I did an entire Minutemen General playthrough where I rebuilt every single settlement in the Commonwealth and even every DLC settlement, and it's honestly one of the best playthroughs I've ever done and one of my favourite memories I have in Fallout 4. I like settlement building a lot, but it was a big mistake to use settlements to replace towns. Sure, I want to build them myself, but I still want to see at least 3 or 4 cities made by Bethesda with unique stories, unique characters, and so on. Anyway guys, that is going to do it for me today. Let me know what things you want to see in Fallout 5 in the comments below, and I might use your suggestion in part 3 of this new series. Please drop a like on the video if you haven't already, and if you are new around here, consider subscribing because we do cover everything Fallout, from news, leaks, speculation, and so much more. But on top of that, if you also want a place to discuss Fallout and plenty of other games, consider joining our Discord. We have a bunch of new members recently, and I'm really enjoying talking to you guys. Anyway, with that said, thank you all so much for watching, and I really hope to see you in the next one.